What's up, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Shakana Toy Reviews. Two idiots, one really good guest host, some toys, a camera, probably a review, probably a good time. You should hang out, check us out. My name is Mr. Berg. My partner, as most of the time, is
Wilson.
And our good friend
Topher
is here today. And what are we reviewing?
We are reviewing the NECA's 90's movie Ninja Turtles GameStop exclusive figures.
Leonardo and Raphael.
Yeah.
Because those are the only two you could find right now.
That's right. I went out the day they came out and
Very hard to find.
Could not get. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's hard to get a whole set.
Well, these have been available in the past as San Diego exclusives, yes?
No.
Yes.
They have?
I don't know.
Oh.
Give a shit. I got my turtles.
Part of the challenge with the Ninja Turtle figures is that Playmates is the master license holder for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and NECA is not. And while NECA has produced things that Playmates isn't trying to produce, the specifics of exactly what their licensing agreement is are unknown. But it basically boils down to NECA has very few options in terms of how they're actually able to get their Ninja Turtle products out to the public. Previously, some things have only been available as convention exclusives. This is the first time that NECA's Ninja Turtles have been available in this scale at a mass market retailer, but GameStop is still a pretty small store, so they're not going to be getting in Target level quantities, so even if you're not snoozing, chances are you're going to be losing. These just came out. They're really hard to get right now. We don't know yet if, will GameStop be restocking? Hopefully, because, clearly there's a demand there for them. But who knows? Paint and sculpt wise, these guys look like they stepped off the screen. If you've seen the movie from the 90's, these are perfect. Yeah. They look exactly like they do in that movie. Now, if you like that design in the movie, you're going to love these. If that wasn't your favorite design, you might love these anyway because they're so nice looking. I am admittedly not the biggest fan of the design from that movie, but these look great. Sitting here looking at them, I kind of want to get them. And I don't even really like that design very much. They're just so well executed. The paint is great. You have a lot of different shades of green on there that blend together really nicely so that you get good highlights, great sense of the muscle definition. The paintwork on the shell is great. The paintwork on the pads is great. You have little silver details here and there in the pads to show where the rivets would have been to hold them together. The sculpts are really, really nice. They're beautiful.
I think it was a good idea for them to go with separate pieces rather than sculpt this in at the elbow.
Oh, for sure.
And the material feels softer.
It's pliable.
Right, and which made me less nervous to move it the first time I got out of the package. And I'm not worried about any of the joints breaking at all. So
it would be my guess that these are just scaled down versions of their quarter scale guys.
Really?
Oh, I would assume so. I would hope that they wouldn't hire someone to resculpt those. Because if you've seen the photos of the quarter scale guys, or if you're fortunate enough to actually have them, they look basically like these do, just a whole lot bigger.
I think these look better.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
What? Based on what? I mean, if it is basically the same sculpt, what would make this a better execution of the same thing?
Because these look more like the guys in the movies than the big ones do. I don't know. It's like when you draw something big and you shrink it down, it looks better. I don't know what that's called.
I see your point.
It's like when you have a 2-up of a figure and you get the...
Sure. We need to find someone who actually has one of the quarter scale ones to really do an analysis there.
We've had them in the chain, and I've seen them, and I wasn't as impressed as I am with these guys.
Well, there you go. So maybe even better than the quarter scale versions.
But anyway, I think we're all agreed that they have great sculpts and great paint.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to throw out there that I think they're above NECA's already great paint and sculpt.
I do too. They look I was fucking blown away,
The
dude.
texture on the skin, I think, is better. Like I have tons of Predators, and the skin on these guys is more lifelike.
Yeah.
I almost get the sense with the Ninja Turtles and NECA that it's a real labor of love for them. That there is, some people who work at NECA who this is their passion, that they really want to do these figures, which is probably the only reason why they would go through so much extra licensing trouble just to do this. Whereas with some of the Predators, like, yeah, we love Predator figures, but, let's make another one. Let's kind of crank them out. These seem to have such a level of care put in them that I agree with you. It really sets them a little bit above NECA's normally really great work.
Hey, Playboy, you want to tell our wonderful fine folks about moving parts since you're playing with your toys?
Yeah. So they're really, really articulated. The end.
All right.
No.
Moving on. Wilson has quit shocking on.
Well, the head moves up
Up
and
and down,
all
swirls around.
This goes in and out right here at the shoulders, and he can kind of jiggle in the shell a little bit. So they don't have the bicep swivels, but instead it's down here at the elbow. where
They
you
have
move
the
it.
Hasbro elbows.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, if you get the separate piece situated right, you can get the double elbow in there too. No waist, but the feet can come out about that far. And again, double jointed knees. Foot goes forward a good amount, back not.
And there are rocker ankles in
Yes.
the ankles, or rocker joints in the ankles.
Right. So I've gotten them to do some cool poses and everything like that. They're real fun to play with and move around.
I would be willing to bet that if you went through the movie frame by frame, that you could put these figures in every pose that the Turtles are in the movie. Remembering, of course, that in that movie it was dudes in suits, and the way their range of motion was limited by those suits, I think is actually mirrored pretty well by the range of motion that's limited in these figures. What I like, not only are these superposable and have great points of articulation, the knee pads, the wrist pads, the elbow pads, they hide a lot of the joints, and it really adds to the seamlessness of the sculpt. Are the back of the bandanas are also movable, are they not?
They're movable, yeah. You get separate ones in the accessories, which we'll talk about.
Speaking about accessories, good
transition. So for accessories, both of them come with slices of pizza, because the Ninja Turtles ate pizza. They both come with their headband sculpted differently. So for example, Raph here has his on that's blowing, and Leonardo's is more hanging down. So this would be Raph's hanging down one. So it's two different looks.
So you can have windswept or standing still.
Yeah.
And then they come with their weapons, which are also have great paint jobs and sculpt on them.
The different hands. For some reason, Raph came with a hand that can hold the pizza, and then a hand like this, and then Leo came with two sort of like meditating hands, which I was kind of, I don't know, I thought they'd give them all the same kind of hands, because now what the fuck am I gonna, how do I get a pizza?
Well, they can share hands though, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And he has hands that can hold swords, so he could probably get a piece of pizza there. Maybe.
Touche.
There's no way we could find out with the stuff we have on hand.
Also, it would take too much effort on our part.
I mean, I guess if you want to do that.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can hold a sword, you can hold a pizza. Can Raphael's sai stick into his belt?
So there you go.
So scale, who do we have here?
Symbiote suit Marvel Legends Spider-Man, Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Kingpin, which comes from a wonderful Frank Miller Daredevil storyline, which is what inspired Eastman and Laird to make the Turtles.
So they're not quite in Marvel Legends scale.
Here he is, scale with a Predator.
Awesome.
So they were slightly shorter than a normal human.
And the Predator was slightly taller than a normal human.
Yeah,
so that's about right.
Down to the bottom line, nitty gritty, feel that titty, as Mr. Brick usually says. Don't you?
No.
No? I guess I'll start then. I'm giving these guys 5 out of 5. Honestly, I only set out to get just Raph, and I got him. And then after I played with Raph, I was like, I really need to get like the rest of these guys. These guys are so good. Again, I was less worried about them breaking, and they look great, and they move around. Like, I want them all, but unfortunately the demand for them is high right now. So, but they are quality, fun NECA toys. They're some of the best that I have. So yeah, they get a straight 5 out of 5.
Will you get the Shredder when he comes out?
So that's the thing, is I don't like the look of movie Shredder. I would put these guys fighting that cartoon Shredder that's coming out. I don't know, maybe if they do the Michael Bay produced Shredder. Would you guys like to see that?
No one wants to see that.
I do.
I don't think you do.
Alright.
Rick, what do you think? Final thoughts?
I'm going to give them a 4 out of 5. I think they're great. I think they're awesome. I love the paint and sculpting on Articulation on it, but the fact that they're GameStop only really annoys me. I hate exclusives. I hate the fact that they're telling me that I have to go shop at a store that I would almost never shop at. The only reason I had to go to GameStop the last time was exclusives, and then I had to go back there because I had credit, because I turn in games when I bought my exclusive, and I hate exclusives. I should have just been able to order these through the comic store and sell them to a bunch of people and make NECA and myself a ton of money.
I'll give him a 5 out of 5. I agree with Rick. I hate exclusives. I hate exclusives that are at stores I don't shop at. Just because of all the licensing nonsense, I wouldn't hold it against NECA in this case. I'm pretty sure that if it were up to them, they would have a much wider distribution on these toys. I don't think it's because they're trying to make life difficult for anybody in particular. I can't see any room for improvement on these. There's nothing I would change about them. They're gorgeous. It makes me want to buy them, even though I have no real interest in this version of the Turtles. So I can't not give them a 5 out of 5. If you love this movie and these are your Turtles, you owe it to yourself to have these figures in your collection. Even if you're not a toy collecting person, even if you just love these versions of the Turtles, go get these. You'll be happy that you have them on your shelf.
Thank you for watching. Even if you watched part of it, thank you very much. Check out all the social media stuff in the show notes. Visit patreon.com/ShockanAwToyReviews if you want to get access to exclusive content. And until next time.
Cowabunga.